this is the reaction. This was a bit of a hurricane article that I read right after the game from Dave Hyde of the Sun Sentinel, which was the title is Giannis still has what the Heat need and vice versa moving forward. And so he said that Sunday changed nothing, and it underlined everything. It changed nothing as far as this playoff series should end, even as Milwaukee gave the kind of performance that's littered with adjectives like inspiring, gritty, fun, normal, reserved for the Miami Heat. And it underlined everything moving forward as the Heat needing a rare talent like Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's dispense with all the throat clearing and conditioning qualifying and ask the harsh question and underlying reality of the series. Would you trade Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero for Giannis? And I'm just like, wait a minute. You've watched now 4 games of this series.
Right.
And that's what you've come away with? And so the premise goes on to ask, basically, let's just say the Bucks they lose this series 5-6, whatever it is, and it's already starting. Most of the storylines with the Heat having this lead is what's wrong with Giannis, what's the future of Giannis. It's not are the Heat winning, which is fine. I knew that was going to happen, and Heat fans were upset with that. You got to just realize that's the game. The question right now is going to be what's Giannis's future, not hey, look at these Miami Heat. It's just the national question is going to be what does Giannis go from here?
That's fine.
And so
I don't care.
I don't care either. But the question is then asked from him is, let's say the Bucks go into this offseason and Riley wants to pull the move, and they're asking for a king's ransom of Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero for Giannis. And he's like, Riley always does it. He did it with Caron Butler. He made the harsh decision of trading Glenn Rice for Alonzo Mourning. And this is leaning more so towards Bam than it is Tyler. You know, like if the Bucks called up and they were like, would you trade Tyler Hero for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Of course. But I'm sorry. If you've watched this series and you've come away with the harsh reality of who knows what if Bam Adebayo can be an MVP or if he could be a defensive player of the year, if you watch this guy this entire year and you don't think that he's capable, first of all, of being a defensive player of the year, he certainly is. And that he hasn't outplayed Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're nuts. Like that guy, and he's also 23 years old. And I also would think that if you are Giannis, why would you want to come to the Miami Heat if they didn't have Bam and Jimmy Butler? Like that's right. The beauty of it. So I find this article silly sauce because if you're calling Bam Caron Butler, you're way off base here of thinking that this is a guy who's just a nice player.
Agreed.
That's not what he is. And I would laugh the Bucks off the phone if you were saying, if Pat Riley gets a call, give me a ring, Robbie. Hey, what's up, Pat? It's Bucks GM. All right, so listen, man, Giannis thing ain't working out. So what do you think about we doing Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo? As soon as "bah" comes out of their mouth, click. I'm off the phone with them.
I mean, you don't feel that way about Tyler either?
I don't. It's not that I don't feel that way about Tyler. It's just that I think that if you're going to say you got to give up one of them, fine. But Tyler, I don't know if Tyler's going to be what Bam is. Bam to me, like, listen,
they're different players.
They're different players, but are you've been talking about that jump shot that you want Bam to get, and there's certainly even a mode yesterday where I wanted Bam to be even a little bit more aggressive. I thought he was the best player on the floor for the Heat yesterday. Right. But it's natural. Like you've had a series where Jimmy Butler has been the alpha and he's taken over, so Bam naturally was deferring in the fourth. But did you see that jump shot yesterday? How regularly he was going to it?
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this for months. Dude, he can shoot it. Why? I don't want to see Bam with his back to the goal because there's nobody within 3 feet of him.
I just think the philosophy of jumping and getting rid of Bam for getting Giannis is silly. And quite frankly, look.
Why would I take a guy who at least can shoot decently, he just doesn't shoot, versus a guy who can't shoot? You can't have, this is what I believe. You can't have Giannis and Jimmy Butler on the same team. Their games are too similar. And Giannis is a worse three-point shooter than him.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that talent will find a way. I think it would be fine. especially if you're going to be in a scenario. I think the Heat will find shooters. That's like they would make it work, but I don't think you make that move, chopping off a leg of what is a championship foundation. And I really do believe that the Heat do have that, whether it is this year or whether it's coming in the future. I do believe that Jimmy and Bam are good enough to be a championship foundation for a franchise. I really do. And if you came out of losing Game 4, them not sweeping the Milwaukee Bucks, like, would you feel that way if the games were flipped? If the Heat lost Game 3 but won Game 4, would you feel that way?
No, I'd be probably talking a little more like Robbie, but not as crazy as he is, because, I mean, him say it's not 3-0 anymore, it's 3-1.
You're right. If the games were reversed, we're still being the same circumstances we're in now. They only have to win 3 in a row now. They don't have to win 4 in a row anymore. They already got that first one out of the way.
15 minutes of Heat would have been so exciting. No. Robbie, it's silly talk. I don't care what to say.
The hard part of the Heat the Heat equation is paying Milwaukee if it's ready to trade Giannis this offseason, the year before you become a free agent. That's where the real pain comes in if you've fallen in love with this current Heat team. Milwaukee would ask for a package like Adebayo and Hero. Would you trade that? Neither has reached their basketball ceilings. Both can be regular all-stars. Adebayo still expanding his game. Hero, a rookie playing fearlessly. But will either be MVP or a defensive player of the year. Giannis can be both this season. And yet, here he is, nearly getting his ass swept out of the second round.
Getting ready to get bounced.
Getting ready to get bounced.
And you know what they're going to do? They're going to talk about a supporting cast. They're not going to talk about him.
And to the point of, he's always made the tough choice. Some couldn't understand Caron Butler being in the deal. No, but Riley knew, he's not getting rid of Dwayne Wade. And I think, this may be crazy to say to you people. I'm not saying that, Bam's going to have the career of Dwayne Wade, but he's an all-star. And Caron Butler was not that. He was not that. He was not an all-star in his first year starting and is ready to, maybe be defensive player of the year, be a first-time All-NBA player, all that type of stuff. When you're talking about the ceiling of what Bam can be, there's a whole lot of climbing that you still got to do for that.
He was a most improved, except for Brandon Ingram.
I just thought it was. I read that. I'm like you've taken in this entire series, and your thought is, you know what though? If it was Jimmy and Giannis and them boys, that would get it done. But Bam, who was up 3-1 in this series with Jimmy Butler, nah. You got to make some hard choices. It seems silly.
I mean, look.
Everybody
just need to relax. You need to relax, and Robbie needs to relax. Reality is somewhere in the middle there.
What do I have to relax about? I don't really understand.
I think you meant Dave Hyde needs to relax.
Dave Hyde, sorry.
Yeah, but
everybody just needs to relax.
It's just how do you come away from a series where Giannis? There's been how many All-Stars are in this series? You have Jimmy,
4, 5,
Bam, Chris Middleton, Giannis. Has anybody made less of an impact than Giannis out of that grouping? And the best his team has played with him with him being injured?
That's just. I mean,
Brook Lopez.
Nothing. You're going into a series
to say, or anybody that would suggest that the Bulls are better when Giannis is not on the court is crazy.
Bucks.
They're different. The Bucks. They're different. They're not better. Don't confuse different.
That's
with
fine.
Better.
Hey, it's fine. I'm not saying that they're a better team with or without Giannis, but I'm saying that the best they've played in this series has been with the game he was out.
Right, because the style that they play.
They shoot more threes.
Still a fact.
Right, exactly, Robbie.
They might be
exactly.
If they played against Toronto, they're probably better off with Giannis than without Giannis. But against the Heat, I think they might be better off without Giannis than with Giannis.
Yeah, they're going to be.
That plays right into
trust
Tobin's.
Yeah, trust me when I tell you they're poor man's Pacers without Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they're going to get that ass kicked on Tuesday with or without him.
I think we better need a third screen ready for Thursday.
No.
Wait, Robbie. You already lost your bet. Why are you raining
I'm
on
mad.
everybody else?
You know why I'm mad? Because I had to move my fantasy draft. It was at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and then this happened, and I had to move it to 9:30.
Now it comes to light.
going to fall asleep in the 7th round.
There it is.
So
there
sorry.
it is. We knew we'd get it out.
So sorry that he couldn't sweep for you, Robbie. How selfish of them, even though you said they were going to lose at 5. Why did you even schedule it? If you said it was going to be a 5-game series, why did you have it there in the first place?
Exactly.
I made the draft date back in June. It's always the Tuesday after Labor Day, 8 o'clock.
Okay, so you thought you were going to be bailed out.
Yes, I thought I was going to be bailed out, that he were going to finish the sweep, and I could have my draft in peace and not have to worry about rescheduling it and getting conflicts from other league members and having to make a pick at midnight and fall asleep and accidentally pick a kicker 5 rounds too early.